Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming back. For those of you who are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Joanna the Medium, and also an intuitive coach. Just very quickly, these are obviously general readings and they will not apply to all of you. So take bits and pieces that apply and throw away the rest. Listen to your other signs, your moon sign and your rising sign, as well as your sun sign, as these more often than not will paint a more complete picture of what is happening in your life. What I have noticed over the last year and a half or so from you is that these readings, generally speaking, will not make much sense to you at the very beginning, but they almost always make complete sense to you at the end of the month or the beginning of next. And I have many of you email me personally saying that it made no sense to you at the beginning, and then halfway through or the third week into the month you listened again and you were shocked how everything was coming out the way it was said. So always listen at the end of the month, because I feel that will connect with you much more so. Also, these are general. I cannot connect with every single one of you. There's thousands of you watching. So if you send me a comment asking how this fits in your life, it's impossible for me to answer that unless, of course, we connect on a one-on-one level. And if that's what you would like, that information is down below, and I would be honored to have a session with you. And I think that's all I have. I wish you a wonderful month of November. Take care of yourself. Thank you so much for watching, for liking and sharing. I look forward to seeing you in December. And for those of you who are celebrating holidays, like in the United States, the Thanksgiving Day, I wish you a wonderful holiday. And without further ado, let's move on to the actual readings. See you soon. Hello, beautiful Scorpios. This is going to be your reading for the month of November 2017. It's crazy how time flies, isn't it? I made my own little spread this month. I've been saying this to all the other signs too, and I have actually a whole bunch of cards that came out, so I chose to keep them all for the purpose of giving you a more detailed message. I will go through first with what I received as far as important information for you. One of the things that I saw for the month of November for you is that you will be spending a lot of time in contemplation, or perhaps you need to spend a lot of time in contemplation. I also felt and saw that many of you will be doing emotional investigation. I actually probed a little bit further just to see what this was about, and I saw an image of you looking at your timeline, past, present, and future, and recognizing certain patterns and behaviors by looking at it from an observer point of view, and realizing some things about your past that are currently affecting you, and realizing that until you choose to let those go, they will more likely than not continue to follow you into the future. So we're talking about patterns of behaviors. We're talking about emotions. This is very much a time for gathering information. I actually saw many of you were reading books, going through books. So this is a time of research. This is a time of not only contemplation, but it's a time of resourcefulness with regards to your well-being. This seems to be the number 8 was being shown to me, which signifies that this is it's a very strong month for you, for many of you, but it's also a month that is surrounding your own empowerment or your own sense of power. So critical thinking is coming to me right now. The number 7 is also being shown to me, so you may connect with both numbers differently and individually. Number 7 to me is a symbol of mastery, and it's a mastery of an emotional component in your life. So it looks like many of you will be going into depths of you, your psychological and emotional depths of you, and recognizing some things that have made you fall in the past. And when I say fall, this is a metaphor. Things that have happened that you are not happy with, things that have transpired that have disappointed you, and things that have happened in the past that have resulted in you feeling very disappointed. So I think I'm saying the same thing. And it's very much an image of you stepping away and looking at things from an observer's perspective, and looking at your past, looking at your present, and looking at your future, and deciding what aspects of your past you want to take with you towards your future, and what you want to leave behind or put to rest. And we are talking here about, again, emotional blockages, unresolved pain, unresolved disappointments, betrayals, anything that has happened in the past that has contributed to some of your situations that you were not happy with, and looking how it is now affecting you currently in your life, and choosing not to take that forward. And how do we choose not to take it forward? Number one is recognition. By being able to recognize or be mindful of our emotional components, we can then work towards changing our behavior, which then eventually will transform our emotions, or at the very least will not feed the emotion we don't want to feed. So examples being given, rage is obvious, but one of the examples that's being given is the word betrayal. So many of you will be working with an aspect of you that is based in the emotion of betrayal. Something has happened in the past, something has transpired in the past where you have felt betrayed, and some of you are still taking that emotion with you. It's deeply rooted, but that emotion is very much with you, and you are going to look at that emotion, and you're going to realize that if you still connect with that emotion, you are going to continue bringing stuff towards you in the future that will potentially have the component of betrayal again. Because when we hold on to past pain and we take it with us, we then create based on what we're feeling. So we're attracting like energy. There's no way around it. It's just the way it is. The universe is always going to show you what is within you. So observation and contemplation is a key here in the month of November. Some December, yes, but in the month of November. Many of you will be ending patterns in the month of November, or you will recognize patterns that you have previously not been able to see or privy to, and you will choose to move on towards your future in a much lighthearted way. So let's go with, so yes, I saw education, I saw you gathering information, I saw going through books. So many of you will be looking into information, researching certain things. This could be research for work, this could be research for personal entertainment or personal knowledge. This could be education, you learning something new, you preparing for something. There's a vast amount, or lots of information coming in for many of you. Books are being shown to me over and over, so do not be surprised if you end up being enthralled in books, like reading a lot of books. It can also be on screen, so obviously that's books is just a metaphor for information. Okay, now let's go through the cards. What is leaving you, or what you are leaving behind? You have two things. One is 5 of Wands, the other one is 8 of Swords. I will use my own intuitive interpretation of this. Like many of you know, I don't read cards the traditional way. So if this means something else to you, by all means, go with your intuition. But basically what this is telling me is that many of you are leaving challenges behind, which is what we talked about. Many of you come from broken homes, and you are choosing to go on a path of enlightenment, which basically means the baggage that you have been carrying with you, you will choose to drop it, which is all what we talked about is the emotional component, and you will move forward with much lighter feeling in your mind and your heart. So this is the mind card. This is trapped in fear. This is in your position of what you're leaving behind. So when we look at our life, and when we realize some key emotional components that are driving our behavior, and then when we choose to no longer participate in that behavior because we now have awareness of where it comes from, we can then let go of some of the baggage. And it's a process, no question about it, but then we can let go of that, of the baggage, and move forward into a much happier existence. What is in front of you is a great thing, because you have Seven of Pentacles, this is called patience and planning, and you also have Five of Coins in reverse. So again, my own interpretation, I feel many of you, this is to do with a relationship. So it could be work, but I just want to focus on relationship for now. Many of you are working towards greater stability within your career or your work environment. I feel that some of you are stuck. Having said that, there seems to be a moment, a preparatory moment, or a moment of preparation where you will be again gathering information in order to move forward into a much better place, maybe much better state of mind, which will then translate into better experiences. But there seems to be a lot of planning and patience, like the card signified, in the month of November. Some of you will be contemplating. What are they contemplating? Relationship wise, I hear, should I stay, should I go? Should I stay, should I go? So there's that, and this could be should I stay, should I go because you're at home, living at home, or should I stay or should I go within a romantic relationship, or should I stay or should I go because you live in a certain house and you want to move to an apartment, or vice versa. There's definitely a component here of preparing for some kind of a move going forward. And this move, January, won't happen probably for most of you until January, if this applies to you. But there is definitely a supportive energy of you making a certain move towards the end of the year or beginning of 2018. This card in reverse tells me that many of you, and this is my intuitive interpretation, many of you are leaving a lot of hardship behind. There has been a lot of changes in your recent past with regards to your security. So this could be financial, this could be security within a job environment, which would qualify for financial. This could be security within a relationship. And there might have been changes in what, some kind of relationship. But in the month of November, you are choosing to leave it behind. I also feel like you're going to have a better grip on what is happening in your financial sector and also in your physical life. So for some of you, you will be looking into a brand new health regime. This is what's coming up. For some of you, really need a massage, my English here, a deep tissue massage is what I'm being shown. So for some of you, you need a massage. Some of you, you will be looking at a healthier way of eating, which is interesting before Christmas or before holidays, because that's always much trickier. But if you can start something in that department before the new year, you're way ahead than most of us. So great energy. You're leaving lots of stuff behind, many of you, emotionally speaking. And you at least are preparing towards something that will transpire down the road. What is influencing you is the card of Four of Wands, and it was shown to me in reverse. So this is a card of happy family. This is a card of, when it's upright, this is a card of communication. It's a card of stability. Because it's shown to me in reverse, it shows me that there has been a disagreement, there has been a breakup, there has been change in your home, which is personal, could also be financial, in your work sector. There has been changes in the last, I want to say in the last 8 months to a year for some of you. For some of you, it's fairly recent. And it is these changes that that are forcing you, if you will, to look at your emotional patterns and to start preparing for your future in a much stable way. So that is what's influencing you. In a position of fears, hopes, and fears, two things came up. Your sacral chakra, so we will talk about this, that's your second chakra, and the Judgment card in reverse. So this is what you are hoping for or what you are fearing. What I felt right away is that many of you come from an abusive relationship. This relationship could have been as an adult, or this relationship could have been when you were a young child. Many of you have substantial amount of energy that seem to be stuck around your second chakra. So first chakra, it's all about safety and security. It's sheer survival. Second chakra is safety and security in relationships. It is also a card that an energy center, pardon me, that is responsible for creativity. That's, you know, ovaries for women. That's where babies are constructed in that area. And obviously in sexual context is in the second chakra. So that's pelvic area. Some of you have issues around betrayal. And I think that came up early on in the conversation. And it is still stuck within you. It is still stuck as an energy, as an emotional block. Now, because the gist of the message is that you are looking at your emotional makeup and you are looking at your past, present, and future, and you are investigating in a curious way how your emotions are affecting you in your life, it is an interesting component that this is coming up as far as the energetic blocks. This will, obviously energetic blocks interfere with many things, but when you have an energetic block in your second chakra, it will affect your ability to trust. It will affect your ability to be sexually free. It will affect your ability to be creative. It will also affect your ability to feel safe in which is trust, in a union or in an environment. So if any of you are looking to be intimate with someone, or if you're looking for a partner, particularly those of you who are single, you really want to make sure, and he's saying to me, they want to know how, so I'm going to get to that in just a second. You want to examine your past traumatic experiences and notice if any of the things that I mentioned, and there is more, you can do research on what is connected to second chakra and how it negatively can affect you and what emotions it can affect. But it's really important for you to address this, because many of you are going to also, he's saying to me, financially, some of you will struggle if the second and first chakra is not brought up to speed, or brought up to alignment, or brought up to harmony or balance. Thank you. It will also affect how you feel about yourself, clearly. But sexuality, yeah, we talked about that. But this is coming up in a fears position, or hopes and fears. So this is something that many of you will need to address. Fire. Interestingly enough, I'm being told that some of you are very afraid of fire. I don't know. That seems to be very specific. I mean, most people don't want to jump into a fire, but most people don't have phobia around fire or extreme fear. So for those of you who have challenges around fire, notice where this is coming from, because it's also affecting you in your second chakra. Now, the question is, how do we go about healing a second chakra? There's a gazillion ways. Massage, energy healing like Reiki, apparently hot stone massage, which I don't know anything about, but that's apparently what he's saying to me. Somehow it can balance things out when the stones are placed in a specific sequence. New to me, but if that makes sense to you, please let me know. He's also saying to me reflexology, interesting, I guess, because it stimulates certain meridians and certain areas. Certainly energy work we talked about, like Reiki, mindfulness, emotional emotional purge, so counseling, obviously, hypnotherapy, anything that allows you to connect with the original emotion and release it in some way, shape, or form. Now, for some of you, you may have no memory of that because you were very young, but you will notice that you have certain things, like you don't trust people, or you don't trust men or women, or you're afraid about your sexuality. And you may not remember when that happened, but you will most likely then not see the moment where you became aware of it. So you will most likely do not see the source. So I would encourage many of you, those of you who this makes sense to seek some help or guidance that can help you unblock some of these energies. The other thing that came up as a fear and hope is the card of balance or justice. So some of you are afraid that you're not going to feel justified, justice won't be served, or the other interpretation of this card is that you will never have a balanced life. That's a fear. And again, when we have a fear, and it's an emotion that oftentimes is fear and emotion, let's just go with that. It's a feeling that oftentimes is not in our right here. It can be back in our mind, in the back of our mind, or even subconscious. But like I said, like attracts like, and an energy frequency that you emit will be the energy that will come back to you like a magnet. So you really want to work on the reasons why you feel you will never be happy, or you will never be satisfied, or whatever it is that you're afraid of, or you will not be justified, or justice won't be done. You want to work on that, because the more you hang on to it, like the emotions we talked about, the more chances there are that you will keep attracting things to prove you right, and you don't want to do that. And I think that's why the month of November is so important for not just you, all of us, to look at our emotions, at our crap, pardon my French or German, and that's a joke, and see how it's affecting you, and notice if you are still holding on to some of those things, and learn to let it go through help of other people and various means. Now, the card of future is brilliant because you have the card of devil in reverse. So this is you freeing yourself from things that have been holding you back. So this is fantastic. And how can we free ourselves from what is holding us back? Number one, first and foremost, is awareness. If we have no awareness of what is holding us back, we'll never be able to let go of it because we don't know what we're dealing with. It's the metaphor I give is like trying to herd ghosts. Good luck. If you can't see it, you're not going to be able to herd them. So because this is coming in a position of your future, it is a release is the word, another word that I want to say with this. It is absolutely fantastic. It is detaching yourself from your past. It is breaking free from your own imprisonment. It is breaking free from those shackles and chains that have been holding you back, and that's obviously a metaphor. It is releasing yourself from the fears that are externalized in gazillion different ways. Addictions, even with addictions, there's like gazillion different addictions. Slight exaggeration, but you know what I mean. So release, that's in your future. That is fantastic. You letting go of this, that's in your past. You are moving towards letting go of even more fears. This is actually a phenomenal reading, and I can see why they kept showing me the number 8 at the very beginning, because this is a month where you can become very empowered, or where you can at least start to work towards your empowerment. And I always say my job in this world, and when I say job, it's my passion, is to help you become more empowered individual, to help you recognize your own amazing your light, your everything that you are, not what you think you are, the real truth that you are, which is just absolute beautiful being. So excellent. Now, last but not least, I have a card that I said from a different deck. Deck is called Wisdom of the Oracle. And I said, okay, what do they need to focus on? The card of peace in the protective position came up. And the message basically is this. What you want to focus on is bringing more peace into your life, more inner peace. The more inner peace you have, the more peace you will attract outside of you or towards you in your physical life. This is also saying meditation or anything that you can undertake to help you rely on your own strength. Of course, rely on other people, but also find your own strength and work on finding your own greatness within. And at the end of the day, if we feel amazing inside, we go outside and create because we're powerful. We go outside and meet people who are wonderful because we are confident. And even when we have things to deal with that are not great, we will approach them from the place of empowerment versus resignation or lack. So this is a fantastic message. Focus on finding peace within and focus on finding your value within. The other part of the message is do not rely on outside world to validate you or to give you your worth. You have to find that within. And when you let go of things like this, the fears and everything that has been holding you back, that's certainly one way of becoming much more empowered and feeling much more worthy. I couldn't be happier with this reading. It is fantastic, and I just feel like there's butterflies everywhere, and butterflies is actually, to me, a sign of transformation. So I hope this makes sense for you. I do wish you best month of November. If you would like to obviously have a private session, see how this fits with you, absolutely you can. That information is down below. Feel free to connect with me and I would be honored. Thank you so much for watching, for choosing to hear me, because there's many amazing readers out there. Thank you for giving me your time and your energy. I appreciate this more than you will ever know, and I look forward to seeing you again in December. Take care.